Wow, I really kind of went for it there. Hi, I'm Mark, and Subliteral Network is my channel. I make art and comics, and you're very welcome to come in. Remember to hit like and subscribe and to leave your feedback in the comments. And you can read my comics, Una the K Bunny and Tiger Team 3, free at radiocomics.com. All these links are in the description. I post daily, 5 days a week on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And this is just a roundup of that work in case you missed it, with a little more detailed description added. This is Clea, who was Doctor Strange's girlfriend in the old comics. And she was she was just a girl he rescued from an alternate dimension, and eventually they fell in love. And she was designed by Steve Ditko originally. But later on, when Frank Brunner took over, he was an artist really known for drawing beautiful women, and Clea just became really gorgeous as under his drawing hand. So this is the finished version of the penciled version of this that I showed you before. It's inked, and it's got marker color. A little bit of what you see is some black crayon back there with white stars painted on in gesso and white paint. And the white highlights that you see are done with something called a China crayon. It's meant for marking on china, which is a very smooth surface, but it's a waxy crayon that sticks to ceramic surfaces, and also it's pretty good to draw with. So I use it a lot. And this is the finish of this piece, which I ended up selling on eBay. Another halftone drawing of the She-Hulk that I did on tone tan paper, and it's actually in color, but I made a gray tone version of it in Photoshop, and I really kind of like the way it came out. The tones really look good on their own this way, and I posted it because it is interesting looking. It's kind of a little different, and of course, this is the idea that I go with whenever I draw She-Hulk is kind of based on the whole Planet Hulk thing, where the Hulk goes to another planet and he becomes like a savage barbarian warlord. So when I draw the Planet She-Hulk stuff, I give her like these enormous outsized weapons, and she is just completely bulked up and very different than the regular She-Hulk that you see in the comics. A sketch of Titania, who was She-Hulk's main nemesis for a while. She kind of matched her in strength and physique, and they went at it for a while in the comics until, I don't know, years go by, they change the character, and just new villains come up. So I don't even know if you see her that much in the comics. But when I would do these sketches on paper bags, this is just in ballpoint with, again, that white crayon on it. When I do these, I try to just sort of exaggerate everything a little bit, because after a while when you're drawing, things can get a little dull looking. So you want to take some time in your sketches and experiment and just sort of look like her arms are just completely huge, and her chest is completely huge, and I just wanted to push it, and if I had to later on pull it back, because you want to know how far you can go, because that determines, you can't really find your limits until you push them. And this was never the upper limit of how I drew her, but I was kind of getting there. I was right deep in the middle of drawing Una the K Bunny strips. So when I drew this Tara from the Herculoids, I was really drawing like cartoony Flintstones almost kind of stuff. So by the time I did these, she just took on this even more cartoony look than she had in her own cartoons. Like she showed up on the Flintstones or something with like the rocks and the big prehistoric plants and stuff. And I do like the way that turned out. A little different than the cartoon as it was on TV, which was kind of taken seriously. There were no laughs in it, but I wouldn't mind seeing them animate the Herculoids again. Maybe take it a little lighter, but keeping like the adventure, the action adventure aspects of it. That would be fun. I don't think anyone's ever going to do it, because apparently there's only me and maybe 3 other people in the world who remember the Herculoids and loved those cartoons as a kid. I colored this in Sketchbook Pro. I did the original drawing in Sharpies and little markers on paper. got it into Sketchbook Pro and did this coloring. So many people do so much great Red Sonja art that I decided that I was gonna just pull out the stops and try to do just a really a great picture of her, just something where it was I could get in like some of my best drawing and really nail down the design of her armor and just put in a lot of flourishes and fantasy style stuff and approach. And so this is what size is this? 14 by 17 on Bristol paper, and I had a ton of fun with it. And when I was finished, I thought this kind of came out all right. I took my time with it. It wasn't on a deadline or anything, and I just worked out a lot of the problems that I could see in it as I was working on it, and ended up getting something that I really liked a lot.